Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. Welcome back to a new episode of Writing Feels Like Love. And I have to make this quick, as always. Do you know you have 30 minutes? I wish someone can just, comment or tell me in some form or whatever, saying that they understood that reference. Because sometimes I just be saying things from the internet and hoping that some people catch it. Anyway, yeah, so I don't have much time, but I had this deep urge, very strong drive to record this episode. And it is actually about an encounter, an interaction that I had yesterday with my colleagues. So, my colleagues, this particular colleague is based in South Africa. And the minute I saw his name, the minute I checked out his vibe, I was like, this is Umkaya, this is my person, this is one for the people. This is someone that I'm going to connect with. Just based on not appearance, just based on the vibe of his Instagram or the vibe of him. I didn't even know him like that. I didn't know the work he did in terms of advertising work or whatever. But I already knew. I was like, he's from Joburg. He has this vibe. We gonna get along. Somewhere, somehow, we gonna get along. And yeah, yes, he came to Dubai for work. And I finally met him. So we hadn't had a chance to actually have a proper conversation. But yesterday we had like a small interaction. And he was like, so yeah, we were talking and it's like, and then I said something like Cape Town related. And he's like, oh, you're from Cape Town? I was like, yeah, I'm from Cape Town. And I know you from Joburg. I can just tell you from Joburg. And it's like, actually, I can also tell you from Cape Town. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Is it the accent? What is it? And he was like, no, just your Instagram page. You can tell like there's a specific vibe that just gives Cape Town. And mind you, I'm not like a creator, or I don't have like, obviously I have videos of the ocean and the water and the mountains and the family vibes, etc., etc., but I wouldn't say that that is like the core of my content. It's also just about me and how I see life through my lens and through my eyes. So in my head I'm like, I give off a Cape Town vibe. And I asked, I mean, we didn't really like go into it, didn't really elaborate. And he was like, yeah, just the way that you see things tells me that you're from that city. And I don't know how to explain it, but the way that he sees things is also very telling of where he comes from and the city he comes from. And it got me thinking, like this revelation actually just came now. I just saw a video for Wandele Photo. No, Lepoto, sorry. Sorry. Wandele Lepoto's video for his latest release or video called, oh, gosh, okay, I forgot. But yes, it kind of triggered why there's such a difference, a subtle, but there's a difference between the way that the two cities create. And it came to me, it's like in Cape Town, I would say that we create with a subconscious purpose to take up space. I mean, as like black art comes in millions of forms, millions of ways. But I mean, if I could distill it, just that history and like an identity, I'd say that we create to take space. A lot of what if we grew up in Cape Town, for me specifically, I grew up in Cape Town. A lot of the spaces that I knew were, obviously I was surrounded by black people. I'm a black person, but a majority was also surrounded by white people and whiteness. I mean, I think the first time I interacted with whiteness was in high school, no, in college, and it was quite literally a culture shock because up until that point I was just surrounded by, and this is just a proper interaction. This is not, obviously I know that white people exist and other races exist, whatever, but a lot of my people and my interactions were rooted in people of color. Like my teachers were people of color. I had one, like in high school, I'd say that's when I was introduced to whiteness, or at least like in a more in a closer way versus it as a concept, or like me seeing people that I don't know and interact with. I would say it was in high school, but even in that interaction, the people of color were the majority. There wasn't I wasn't in a white school. So the way that I've seen creators, and me myself, I never realized this until he said it, but like, I create to take space. It's kind of like low key, it's like resistance and protest. We create to take up space. That's how I'd distill it. And in Johannesburg, or the art and the creativity, the black art that comes from Johannesburg is always rooted in the core experience or the core culture of the person, so their heritage, if they Zulu, if I mean Gauteng, not even Johannesburg. Let me not be Cape Town minded and think the whole of Gauteng is it's Johannesburg, but Gauteng is rooted in culture. It's rooted in blackness, and they express that. Whereas with us, we are taking up space, and either or is not. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no better. It's just the way that we have expressed. And this is my opinion. Please, I should have caveated, should have had a warning sign. This is just my hot take that in Gauteng, they create just based off their culture. And I'm just talking about those two differences, those two sides of the same coin, because for me, it's something that I can tell off the jump, and the art and creativity that comes from both cities is quite distinct and quite unique. So Gautengalings, people from Gauteng, they create from their heritage, they create from their culture, shared culture, experience, because I don't think they ever needed to assimilate. And this is, again, my perspective. There wasn't ever a need to assimilate because they were surrounded by blackness, whereas Cape Town, you are surrounded by whiteness. So you have to reinterpret what you see in your own way, in your own eyes, through your own culture. So I used an example, and when I told him this, I was like, oh, I didn't tell him like this discovery, but I told him, yeah, I also can tell that you're from Joburg. And he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, man, there's just an aura, the vibe. There's just, there's a slight difference. And the example that I used was it was streetwear brands. So I know that there's a very like core street culture in Cape Town and a very core street culture in Gauteng. But the examples that I used was, it's like Cape Town streetwear is broke culture, broke streetwear. And I mean, and Gauteng, I would say it's Kasi culture. Kasi culture is not even like streetwear. It's still like deeply rooted in the culture of football. There's many different variations of culture. But if I were to do polar opposites, just of brands that I also own, I'd say Cape Town is broke. Gauteng is Kasi culture. It is the same thing. It is telling a story, some form of story, using different perspectives, but it's still black art. At the end of the day, it's still black creativity. It's still deeply rooted in experience, still deeply rooted in history, in culture, in nuances that some people wouldn't realize. Like, it is all of that. But I feel like there's just a beautiful story with the way that people in Gauteng create. I love it. I love it. I would love to be it, but I know that I just interpret things in my way. But I really respect the creativity that comes from that city. My gosh, it's so deeply, and it's such an interpretation of history, an interpretation of culture. And yeah, I just needed to share that. I'm gonna grab a letter and pull a Fumi letter if it's even necessary. I'll feel how I feel after I have my meeting, which is what I was late for. But yeah, I just needed to like get that out of my system because it really just dawned on me, and it's such a beautiful way to see it. Like, it's two sides of the same coin. There's many coins, there's many sides, but they both are coin, no good, no bad. It's just different and really interesting. Whew. Yeah, that was a long ad break. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. It was short for you because it was a couple of seconds of an intermission, but for me, it was almost 24 hours. Anyway, I still feel strongly about what I was saying yesterday, which is for you a couple of seconds ago. And I think that the way that people in Gauteng create is very much from a point of the identity and their current history. And whereas and this is just something that I've observed, and I think maybe for me, in the way that I create to express what I'm feeling, and create to express my context at that moment, whether it is, and my context. Oh wait, and my context at that moment is always influenced by what is happening around me, currently or like in the past. But like it's always from the point of reference that I've seen, that I create from, is from a current point of reference. And my yearning, my deep desire is to go back and find out more about my history, about my heritage. That's why even like when it comes to the other, I mean, like when it comes to me going back home, it is a very like serendipitous. It's not English. It's a very serendipitous moment for me because it reminds me of where I am and where I'm from. But going back to my mother's home is an even bigger moment of serendipity, because I not only see myself, but I see her and I see those before her. And to create from that place, and which I feel like people from Gauteng do, they create from the place of their heritage, the place of the people before them. Whether it is, I mean, colonization did a number on us, guys. Let us not forgo that fact. They really did their job of trying to erase, trying but not succeeding, being the operative word, trying to erase an identity and a people. So I feel like what Black creativity and Black art has been about, I mean, for the past couple of years, is about tracing back the heritage, tracing back the origin story. Or I was telling my friend that I actually don't know past my great grandfather. Like, I mean, I feel like I still find out things about my great grandfather, even about my grandfather, even about my parents. It doesn't even have to go as far back as great. Like, just me finding out my parents' history, like how they met or how their upbringing was, is always fascinating to me. But it's also like a tale that I seek out currently. And when I ask them about their grandparents, it's an even bigger story. Like, I at my grandmother's funeral, which I feel like did such an amazing job of bringing me closer to my history or my origin. And that was always her. I'm just, I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to get emotional, but my grandmother, being buried at my ancestral land, if I can say, where my mother grew up, and her cousins and her grandparents raised her, and generations before that, was an honor. It was an honor. I am actually absolutely thankful that my grandmother she said this in like with while she was living, that she wants to be buried in that land and with her people, basically. And I mean, us being from Cape Town, I'm originally from Cape Town. My mom is originally from Eastern Cape, but there is no difference in between. I feel like my context is built here in Cape Town, but my history is built in Eastern Cape, which I used to, as a kid, visit very often. And so for my grandmother to want to be buried there and saying it while she's still breathing was an absolute honor because the gift that she gave us is incomparable. It's incomparable as like her final gift. Because I mean, there will be gifts that she will give and like blessings that you will feel come from her in past her living, but words that she had said verbatim and the intention that she had set out verbatim, which is being buried in that land, is the last living gift that she gave us. And being there, I mean, obviously our context is completely different. We from a different city, a different place, a different time, different upbringing. So obviously you assimilate when you get there, but what I really, really honor and respect is how my uncle was telling me about my grandfather, my great grandfather, so my grandfather's father, about the land that he has built, where he worked in the mines, the effects of colonization, apartheid, specifically apartheid, how they had to work in the mines, how they carved this village for a people. And for me, I'm like, flip, like fuck, like how can no, it's like it's crazy to think about how that's even possible, but it gives me like an immeasurable sense of pride to be from the people who did that. And so I feel like people from Gauteng, they create from that place. They create from that place of this is my heritage, this is my people, whether it's from the because I mean a lot of people in Gauteng, which I have noticed, again, this is all based on observation, not based on Sarah, sensor. What is it? It's not sensor. What is it? I forgot. There's that thing where you actually go door to door and you check where people, how many people are in your neighborhood, whatever. So it's just based on observation. But a lot of people in Gauteng don't have ikaya. No, not ikaya, but like for Tina, it's for us. Sorry, for us, my mother's home is my ancestral land. So that's where our story starts, and it's not too far up. Like it is a place that I can access, and it's a place that isn't too far out of reach, and that I feel is a common case for people from my tribe, which is Xhosa people, Xhosa speaking people, not necessarily from my tribe. So we have like that place, like emakhaya. That's what we call when you're going back home. And people in Gauteng, they had to carve home from where they are. From what I know, like the friends that I have, their home, ancestral land home is in Soweto, is in Soshanguve. It's not in a village in a remote part of town. It is here. And so that is their context, and that is where they create from, because that's what they know and that's what they've been taught and that's their heritage. And I feel like to create from that place of your origin is absolutely sure, it's a lot. It's beautiful. It's deep, remarkable stories. It's real. It's authentic. It's from what I've seen. I mean, I've only been to one other city outside of my home, outside of my home country, and the context that I have built here in the UAE is obviously there's a lot of different strokes, different types of people, literally a melting pot, literally people from all over the entire globe are here. So you'll meet Italians, you'll meet people from the Philippines, you'll meet people from Lebanon, you'll meet, and not just meet, like you will get to befriend and actually understand their context from people from all over the world. But the way that we create as South Africa, and the way that black art is portrayed from a whatever city you're from, let me not even try to segregate it, whatever city you're from, it is so authentically, uniquely that place that I have not seen it replicated anywhere else, for very obvious reasons, because people are different. But that difference is it just does something to me, guys. that difference just does something amazing to me. And I'm so proud to be from South Africa. I'm so proud to be from Cape Town. I'm so proud to know people from Johannesburg, because I feel like the thing that people say about Cape Town is that it's a different country, which is sad, because I can 1,000,000% see why that is the case, because when you go anywhere else in the country, Cape Town is very still segregated. Um, I mean, if you okay, so I have a YouTube channel as well. It's called at Search underscore, and I have an episode about Cape Town, how it is literally the juxtaposition of life, where you can come to a city or a place, and you can receive two different contexts in less than 10 minutes, in less than I don't know what miles is, but like in less than 20 kilometers, you can feel two different contexts in the same city. And it's not a case of, obviously class plays a huge role, income plays a huge role, but just also in terms of race, like you can tell you can feel different experiences in different parts of Cape Town, whereas in Johannesburg it's the same context, just in different, I think just in different income levels. And so so being from this country, being from South Africa, Cape Town, knowing people from Joburg allows me to know more than what I've seen. Because yeah, this is the point I was trying to get to. Like people say that Cape Town is its own different country, but also people in Cape Town are quite how can I say, they're not super welcoming, I won't lie. We like, and it's a thing that I didn't realize because I was already in the soup, but we get cliques. We are very cliquey. We are very like, these are my people. These are the people that I hang out with. I won't really open myself up to seeing different types of experiences or nuances or contexts or backgrounds. So the people that you grew up with, the people that you surround yourself with, is normally the people that you end up being with most of the time. And being in advertising in Cape Town opened me up to people from Johannesburg, people from Limpopo, people from Eastern Cape, people from everywhere. I mean, Eastern Cape is not really a thing because Western Cape is the same thing, but like just these very, very vastly different contexts. And when they came in, they're like, yeah, they can feel it. They can feel it's different. And I'm so thankful for the people that I have in my life that are from different backgrounds and contexts and language. Because then I see that it's not just this. It's not just, I don't just know one way of living. I don't just know one part of a South African existence. Obviously, I'm still a child in that regard. I don't know anything when it comes to different cultures, different contexts. I'm absolutely fascinated by it. When I get into it, I'm in it. But there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to earn. There's so much more to see. And it's very, very evident in a South African context, just culturally and just in our Black art. So, yeah, before I kind of had the meeting and did a little intermission, I said that I was going to read a letter from Fumi. If it's even... Oh, sorry, that was me taking the box. If you heard that. If it even is viable or worth reading a letter from Fumi. I said, I'm sure I caveated in one of these episodes that not every episode is going to be a Fumi letter. It's just going to be me rambling, talking about my love of art, my love of writing, my love of life. But I don't know. Let me just see. I'm going to take a letter out for me and see what she has to say. I feel like this is a fortune. A fortune teller. A fortune reader. Ugh, okay, I already picked one. Okay, I'm just going to... Paper ASMR. I'm just going to take it out because... Let's see. If I've read this before, I'll obviously stop. If this is something that's a bit too personal, I'll obviously stop. But yeah, okay, this letter is not a letter. Okay, I'll still read it and I'll read the whole thing, but I might bleep things out, or I might bleep the whole thing if it gets too personal. I don't know. I just saw the first time, like, it's not really fitting with what I'm talking about. But let's see. Manifesting the life I want to live, present and future, Jolingoma. For those who don't know, Jolingoma is my clan name. I think I mentioned a few minutes before that the tribe that I come from is Abexhosa, but that's not really my tribe. So isiXhosa is the language that I speak, but the tribe, which is my ancestral tribe, which is my father's clan, where I come from. I mean, I come from both my mother and my father, but my father's clan is Ojola, Mpankomo Kangebe, Jola Sebakeni, Owanya, my people. So Nujolungomo by my clan, and it's something that I take great pride in. I even have a tattoo of cows on my arm, like just for my heritage and just for the deep meaning to cows' wealth. The cows being like a vessel between the living and the ancestral plane. I love cows. Jolingoma is my girl. Jolingoma is who I am, and Jolingoma is my clan. So that is what I mean when I say manifesting the life I want to live, present and future. Jolingoma, I'm just basically talking about myself. It seems like this is going to be my manifestations, and I don't know if I'm ready to share those with you. I am ready. I am ready. But let's read. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so first one is be in a space that appreciates the value that I contribute, one that celebrates and rewards my skill and pays me a lot of income will bring me gratitude. I'm ecstatic that my podcast has received the financial sponsors it needs to grow. It needs to grow its community, and that allows me to travel the world because of it. This brings me an unending burst of happiness and unbelievable, beautiful surprise. Sana manifesting, guys. Are you listening? If anyone is out there and would love to make my manifestations come true, please come through. Next one is I am proud of the beautiful home I've built with acres of land and breathtaking views and stylish interior. This home makes me feel proud of where I am and how far I've come. Dreams. Big, big manifestations. Getting to travel the world because of my writing makes me so excited of what other blessings are yet to come. Seeing how people relate to my work has been amazing, and I feel amazing. Next one is receiving multiple streams of income above my day-to-day job makes me grateful to have chosen the path I have. Still, yeah, I am very, very thankful. Nyamatsu has become a powerhouse in the publication and producing world. It is responsible for most of my success that I am grateful for. This platform has helped so many people, and I'm deeply proud of starting it. That is about Nyamati, which is what this podcast was called before I decided to switch things up. So those are my manifestations. It doesn't really mix with what I was talking about in terms of creation, black art, creating from a source of taking up space versus celebrating where you are, who you are, and those that came before you. I think it's a very fascinating pool. I mean, I've only what can I say? I've reduced it to those two parts, which is not accurate. I think that it's way more complex and way more contextual. But the way that the aha moment came to me was that. And it's something that I could actually see myself in, and it's something I could see other people in as well. It's very fascinating. It's something that I deeply value. I love being from South Africa. I love being black. I love loving being in context of black art, because it is the best thing. 10 out of bloody 10. To know the nuance associated with certain narratives, with certain visuals, with certain expressions is like I'm in a VIP club. And there's a thing that connects us all. We all grew up in the same household because we all come from the same people. And with that, there's nuances expressed differently, but it's the same context. And just being from this context is absolutely amazing. So I will leave you with that. I will leave you with Black art is Black love is Black excellence. I've been listening to a song. If anyone wants me to plug them, whoever's listening, the 1, 2, 3, 10, 15, 16 people that are listening who have made it this far, because it is quite far. Sorry. The people who have made it this far, I want you to listen to Zoe Mudicha song called Benge Manzi. I'm just gonna spell it out because it is so beautiful. She is such a beautiful artist. She's a beautiful musician, yeah, extremely talented, technically sound, whatever. But as an artist, as a creative, exuding from source, 10 out of 10. I love her so much. So her name is Zoe, which is Zoe. Her last name is Modiga, which is Modiga. And the single that I would love you guys to listen to, which has just been speaking to me this morning since the minute I woke up, is called Benge Manzi, which is BengeManzi. Enjoy her. Enjoy. I love you guys so much. I will see you at the next one.